It's Wednesday night, and you know what that means. Tell them, Canada Dry.
It's time for G-A-G. It's Dynamite After Dark, baby.
Woo! Intro, please.
Coming to you live from the FN Worldwide Media Studios, located in parts unknown.
Anything goes. It's Dynamite After Dark.
Woo! Wow, man, what a freaking show it was today. Holy crap. Let's just jump into it, but first, I am, of course, the always irreplaceable, needed the Johnny to go. I'm the JFB, James from Boston.
And I'm, of course, the patron saint of professional wrestling. I'm that gingered up, bubbly son of a bitch. I'm Canada Dry, damn it.
Oh, yeah, he is. He goes,
Introduce
nice
yourself,
food.
guests.
Yeah.
Trey Day, do you have an intro for us?
I feel like the name right now says it all. Like the fact that I am literally 16-2 in AFW. I'm like, I told you guys as soon as this season started that this was the season of Styles, title or no title, which, by the way, I feel like having the best record in AFW does kind of qualify me for a title shot. I know Canada Dry cashed in today, but we're waiting on the results for that to see what happens next, because this would be match 5 between us if I challenge you again, right?
I'm declining. You just see the decline. Insufficient funds.
Insufficient funds. 16 Mr. 16-2 already has over 100 points.
And of course, we have the wonderful, the amazing Golden Graham. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, guys. How y'all doing?
Doing good. Cooler than the other side of the pillow.
You on purpose decided to take the night off.
I did.
Just to do this show.
Exactly. I did not predict this week in AFW.
Oh, you missed a whopper, man. You missed a whopper.
I did, but I enjoyed this show tenfold because I didn't care. I had no skin in the game on predictions. So
there you go. That's
and
the
I'm
way
glad
you wanted to bring your flavor to the show without any points lost, right?
Any anger or madness or anything like that.
All right, well, let's get started. We don't start. You know, your first time in the West Coast. By God, you're not going to sit here and dilly dally with blah blah this and yada yada that. No, you're going to start with a match, and that's what we do. We start with Moxley versus Hangman Page. Here's my notes really quick. Mox is strutting and all that jazz. Here comes Hangman. These dudes are about to brawl. There's going to be no doubt about it. This match has more punch than Kool-Aid, okay? They're having a chest slap party. I haven't seen backbiting like that since I hung out with Marv Albert a few years ago. Yeah, I popped you on that one. Lots of lariats. Lots and lots of lariats. What's up with the big, huge blue Kool-Aid guy standing front and center? Sit the hell down. People from behind can't see you. And then
I sent him there. He's promoting our new shirt.
And then it looks like Mox is going to be taking a vacation after all. He's not for a loop-a-loop. Let's go with Canada Dry. You go first. Your thoughts on the opening match?
What a way to start off the show. I tell you that it was probably the best start I've seen in AEW in a long time. that's a match any other. So
Yeah.
to me, it was filled with they had to be sore after that match. I tell you, like they took some good heat, some good whacks.
Yeah.
Um, here, it's your nemesis.
Hey, it's Rich Southwood.
What's up, Rich?
It's kind of hard to call him my nemesis because I did dominate him in the first round of the Mr. AFW tournament. So it's kind of like,
Holy
I mean, if it was close, it would be a thing. But but I'll be honest with you, like Rich is a great guy. Both in and out the ring. He and I actually had dinner after the Mr. AFW match that we had, and there's actually videotape footage that will be released very soon. I'm actually looking to we're gonna probably release it on next week's DAD. So I would like for you guys to see how everything went down and whether or not I punched him in the face across the table. So definitely something.
All I gotta say is this, Trey J. The last time I saw a slaughter similar to you slaughtering Rich Southwood was Custer's Last Stand. Like it was just an absolute slaughter. So go ahead. What are your thoughts on the first match of the night?
I would definitely say that this was surprisingly better than what I had expected. I think we all, for the most part, were looking to see Hangman get the win. I mean, they made it so personal for him. They made it such a big thing. It was so. But then you get to that really interesting style of match that it was. And it wasn't like the full out brawl. It definitely wasn't a technical masterpiece by any stretch, but it was really good for them. And I think it made Hangman look so much better than he had been probably since he won the title.
Yeah.
I think that he honestly hasn't looked this good since the second Adam Cole match.
Yeah. Yeah, he looked fantastic. No doubt about it. He's back.
Yes.
Fringe and all, he's back. Let's go to Golden Grams. Mr. Golden Grams, your thoughts.
I loved this match. Like, it was hard-hitting. It told a story, like, at the end. Just playing on the insecurities of Hangman is just perfect. But as I'm sitting here watching this, I'm like, this is, like, as close to a New Japan match as you're going to get probably in the States. Yeah. Other than New Japan USA. So if you've never seen a New Japan match and you watch the opening match, you've seen a classic New Japan match, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Yeah. Super strong style, very physical. I was just flabbergasted. I
loved Page kicking out at one.
Yeah.
What was it? He hit the pile. I can't even remember what the spot was. But
it was a pile driver. Yeah.
Just kicked out at one. It was great.
Yeah, Rich Southwood says Bate Cade is going to lose his title to JFE after that slanderous rant against me.
Bad take, JFE.
He made me pop.
Nice.
All right, here we go. We go to our first promo / video package. It's Tony Schiavone. He's in the ring, and he says, this person I don't want to be in the ring with. And I thought, oh, my God, they're going to bring out MJF. Oh, no, they didn't.
Same thing, too.
Adam Cole, baby. He is back. The freaking Los Angeles crowd loses their freaking minds. They're out of their gourds. He comes in. He starts talking about his injuries. He starts talking about hard times. He says, I got good news. I got bad news. Good news is I appreciate my life, and I appreciate being a professional wrestler. Bad news is for everyone in the back because Adam Cole is going to wrestle again. Holy cow. I got chills. I got goosebumps. I was like, holy cow. Canada Dry, tell me what your thoughts of with Adam Cole coming back in.
I think it was the perfect setup with Schiavone saying that because you're like, it's a little bit of tease. And then it's Adam Cole, and teased that the bad news. So you're like, oh no, there's bad news, and then he just drops that at the beginning. Then he just tells the story, gets us all emotionally worked up to reveal that he's back. That was probably one of the best in-ring interviews, I guess, or talks or whatever I've seen in AEW in its history, because it reminded me of Bryan Danielson when he came back to WWE and he's like giving that big talk, and it felt very similar. Kind of gives you a little bit of a tear. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, you don't want to see a person who's a competitor, especially a professional wrestler, not be able to ply their trade because of injuries, because of concussions. I'm hoping that he takes it a lot more safe, rather than putting himself at risk with another concussion, because one more major concussion, that might be the last we ever see Adam Cole. Golden Grams, your thoughts on the Shivani interview?
I thought the same thing as you. I was like, why are they bringing out MJF so early? I thought it would be later, but it was great. Like, that crowd just lost their absolute mind, and it was great. I'm glad he's back. Glad he's healthy and safe. And I know before he left he was supposed to feud with the Elite, but just let him be a babyface and let the crowd just cheer and appreciate him.
Yeah.
Like, just run with it. You can always turn him heel anytime later on. It ain't hard with Adam Cole. So.
Oh yeah. I mean, that LA crowd. I mean, I can't tell you how many times he has been excellent at Bola. And for those who don't know, Bola is Pro Wrestling Guerrilla's yearly big show. It's called the Battle of Los Angeles. Last 2 days. Some of Adam Cole's best matches in his career has happened at Bola. Let's go to Trey J Styles. Trey J, your thoughts on the interview with Tony Schiavone?
Honestly feel like this is the worst interview I've ever seen Tony Schiavone do, because I don't know about the rest of you guys, but Tony didn't interview anybody.
Yeah.
He just ran out the ring.
Yeah. But I mean, if you guys know me, you guys know that I feel like Adam Cole is one of the best pure performers ever. Yeah. I really, hated the Forbidden Door situation and him getting knocked for a loop and then kind of trying to come back, and you can kind of tell that there was these struggles, and then the way he described it, it was, almost painful to think about. But one of the things that makes Adam Cole as great as he is, as a performer, as a talker, as a character, as a person, is that he draws you in, and he does that so well. And I think that's honestly a talent that right now AEW is sorely lacking. Yeah. And when you start hearing people say, "Oh, he's gonna have a miraculous comeback, he's gonna want to go to WWE," Triple H treated him so well. It's like, no, I think when you give Adam Cole the ability to just run with the ball, yeah, he scores every time. Like, granted, the only misstep, and only real misstep, is that the series between him and Hangman went so long. Yeah. But other than that, there was definitely a point where you kind of felt like, okay, he's got to win this one. But that's the only misstep they've made with Adam Cole. Adam Cole has delivered. I mean, even his quarter hours have been shown that people tune in to AEW to see Adam Cole. So it's definitely a net positive to have him back.
Yeah, he's a needle mover. There's no doubt about it. He is an absolute needle mover. So we
all about the boom.
And also, it's really great that this didn't leak out. Like, there was no. Yeah. I didn't see anything on Facebook saying, "Hey, Adam Cole's coming back" or anything. It was a genuine surprise, which was great.
Yeah. The crazy part for me was that I heard about him coming back as there was like this big spoiler about him coming back last week. Yeah. And that's what kind of threw me off, because I was like, Adam Cole is definitely coming back. Like, when they were saying there's a big surprise for the January 4th. And then when it didn't happen, I was like completely just gone off of it at that point. I was like, that's not going to happen. And so this was definitely a surprise.
Yeah, it was good, because I think it was good to save him for Los Angeles. For him.
I would just like to take a moment, say happy birthday to Natalia Markova.
Oh yeah,
she got a brand new. Not a brand new.
It's a nice car that she got.
16 C4. That's her dream car. It's her first car. That's really cool. She's been riding a bicycle everywhere to do everything, and now she has a car, so it's going to really help her wrestling career as well. But she got the best car.
She got a sweet ride. If you guys are curious, we'll tell you how to. You just go to our website or go to our Facebook page. We'll tell you how to get there at the end of the show. So now we go to a really quick video clip. I don't want to hark on this anymore. Acclaim claims they're getting a star on the Walk of Fame. I can tell you this: the Walk of Fame does not give stars away. If you want a star, you have to buy a star, and the star is $250,000. I think it's going to be cool. I think there's going to be an interesting little thing that happens on Friday, but they don't give stars away. You want a star, you got to buy a star. So let's go to our second match, and that is going to be Lee Moriarty and Big Bill.
That's a lot of money for a star.
Yeah, it's a lot of money for the star. But and we're going to go with Moriarty and Big Bill versus Jungle Hook. I like Hook. Hook's got his dad's swagger. You can't teach that. He's got all that swagger from his dad. Really good back and forth. Good chemistry with Jungle Boy and Hook.
That's not what you did there.
Yeah. Good isolation of Jungle. So let's go to Golden Grams. Golden Graham, what were your thoughts on the second match?
It was a good match. I mean, it's kind of a letdown after what we had just gone through.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed Hook out of everything. Hook just sitting there trying to suplex Big Bill, and when he finally does it, just hearing Taz go crazy for his son on commentary is awesome, and I love it.
Yeah, he was a proud papa watching his son do a T-bone suplex. So let's go to Trey J Styles. Trey J, your thoughts on
Golden Graham? Can you?
Can he what?
I was going to ask Golden Graham if he could do his best Mr. Isaacs impression and say, "Good evening, gentlemen."
Good evening, gentlemen.
Oh, that's not bad.
I hope I did you justice there, Mr. Isaacs.
That was spot freaking on. That was spot on. Trey J, your thoughts on the second match?
Well, I love the fact that, in a match that involved the former Big Cass, that you said you can't teach that when you're talking about Hook. And it's true. Hook has a cool factor that I think is first of all is missing from a lot of wrestlers in general, but especially when it comes to AEW. Like, he has this, like, the whole handsome devil thing, that could come and go, but the you can't deny just he has this presence. I mean, just the fact that you have Hook, who is, I think, approximately 6 foot even, and he's staring at Cass, who is 7 foot tall, and people, there's nothing that's happening here. It's just a face off. But the crowd is going wild over this. Yeah. And I don't know. I don't really know if it was the intro with Team Taz, if it was CM Punk saying send Hook. But I mean, that kid is money. And as long as nobody messes this up, that kid is gonna stay money.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Jungle Boy is doing his best throw pillow impression. Yeah, for most of this match, which I respect it. There was a slight botch when Hook tried to do the sliding drop kick, but we can forgive that. I know Dallas has already told everybody that it didn't happen. As a matter of fact, Dallas promised to give me my AEW debut points for that question, even though Mercedes didn't, show up, because of the fact that Jungle Hook was a team debut. As long as I never mention the botch.
Yeah.
So
there you go. I don't ever recall you talking about the botch.
Didn't see anything.
Let's go to Canada Dry really quick.
You actually did mention the botch. You don't get your points.
I didn't mention the botch. Why are you making up stuff?
I'll edit it out.
You gonna edit it out yet?
Okay, this is my thoughts on Jungle Boy and Hook. I thought this was a great match. I think what I really love about Jungle Boy is he's evolving and he's becoming a bigger and bigger star. And I was saying in chat, I want Darby Allin versus Jungle Boy for that TNT title. And I want Jungle Boy to win that damn thing because I think he's a bit better star than Darby.
Oh, yeah. There's no doubt about it. Jungle Boy right now is as hot can get. He's hotter than the land in which may very well purchase the WWE. So he is smoking hot. So let's go to our next video package. It's Orange Cassidy, Danhausen, and Hauser from Cobra Kai. It was the most awkward video package I think I've ever seen. In one sentence or less, Canada Dry, sum up that video package.
I didn't get what the case was about. Like I totally missed it. I was like, what's this case about? What's in the case?
Oh, it's his Golden Globe.
Like, but I was like, I didn't even know who that guy was until someone told me he's from Kai.
He played the manta ray.
I thought it was an okay segment. Yeah. But whatever. Next person.
Golden Graham, your thoughts extremely quickly.
Womp womp womp.
There you go. Trey J, what are your thoughts?
I'm so irritated they wasted that on Orange Cassidy when that should have been a Jericho segment. The guy is in the show singing Judas.
Yeah.
How do you miss that? Like, how do you that? This is like coming up, bases loaded, and you and you get a strikeout. Like, not even a foul tip, but a strikeout. Like, I was just like, that was lined up perfectly, and for a segment that literally went nowhere.
Yep. All I gotta say is Tony Khan. There we go. Let's go to our third match really quickly. It's going to be Bryan Danielson versus Konosuke. Take
a shit up.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you. Yeah, I really want Takeshita to win, but it's not going to happen. We know. MJF comes out and talks shit to Takeshita. MJF, I could sum up his entire promo. He can last 60 minutes with mamas, sisters, and girlfriends, and he's known for pinning shoulders on the mats and banging rats. I don't know if I necessarily would brag that you're banging rats, because where I'm from in Boston, rat's not a good thing to call a woman at all. Ken Jeong is in the house. Freddie Prinze Jr. is there. Finally, out comes Danielson. We finally get into the match. Absolutely some of the best reversals I think I've ever seen in any match. That blue thunder bomb he landed on Danielson was absolutely fantastic. I'm flabbergasted. I'm lost for words. Let's go with Trey J Styles. Trey J, your thoughts on the third match?
So I got to tell you guys something that has bothered me about this match since it was announced last week.
Yeah.
And I know this is not a nice thing to say, but this is after dark, so we are kind of allowed to do what we do. But you know how they have the those promo style hypes for the matches where you have like kind of like Bryan Danielson versus Konosuke Takeshita.
Yeah.
The whole time, every time I saw it, I'm like, Takeshita got to be the ugliest human being on God's green earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I literally asked Bobby Fish if there was ever an uglier person, because he's literally seen everybody since the dawn of time. So, and he even told me that there wasn't. So I was just like, what are we doing with this? Like, but you can definitely tell that they want Takeshita to be a huge deal.
Oh yeah.
Like they're literally, it's almost like you're groomed for stardom, not just by who you're in the ring with, but by how they react to you as well. Like Danielson picks him up, gives him the handshake, gives him the point, steps kind of lets him have center ring for a quick second. Those things are moments that you just know that he's being like. I think even the fact that MJF came out and directly addressed him before the match was kind of giving the rub in a lot of ways. MJF's segment, I do think, dragged on a little bit long.
Yeah.
I do think that he's still as good as he wants to be. The whole ring rat thing or the banging rats thing is always one of those things that I remember from like the 80s when I first started watching wrestling.
Yeah.
And people used to say that because like I'm old enough to remember Missy Hyatt. So so whenever I think about that, that's definitely a big thing to remember. But the match was solid. Danielson did his thing. The question is, though, with 3 more weeks of this?
Yeah.
Is it going to continue to have that same effect on the crowd, or are we going to get tired of watching Danielson kind of do his thing? Like you get too much of a good thing, and then you're going to tell us we're going to get an hour of that good thing. It's kind of like it's hard to say.
Yeah. Golden Grams, what are your thoughts on the third match?
So I'm going to sound like a broken record once again because I thoroughly enjoyed it and I love this match. My favorite part of MGF's promos when he's dressing down Freddie Prinze and he just perks up. He's like, "What did I do?" But yeah, I really do think Takeshita's going to be a big star. They're going to push him to the moon.
Oh, they're going to have to. They have no choice.
It's going to be great. Like I really can't wait to see what they do next with Takeshita.
Yeah. Hey, Canada Dry, bring up that comment about losing. He needs a statement win. Takeshita.
From Rich.
Yeah, I think Rich Southwood. Yeah, so Rich Southwood says they're going to have to give Takeshita a statement win soon, or his luster will run out. I couldn't agree more. I think he's on that precipice. He's banging on the door. You just have to let him in, and once you let him in, it's going to just go haywire. He is a taller, more muscular Daniel Bryan, and is better at his age than Daniel Bryan was at his. Canada Dry, your thoughts on the third match of the night?
To me, this was Bryan Danielson's best match in a very long time.
Yeah.
Sorry. Everything just flowed so beautifully. And even though you knew Bryan Danielson was going to win, the believability was there. Say it in my mind, but he's amazing. I think he's a big star. I think he's a star in the making. They believe in him. Tony Khan must love the crap out of this guy because you can see that they're polishing him up to maybe even put a TNT championship on him or something.
Yeah, I mean it's a shame that he had to lose to Danielson for the sake of moving the story forward. I would have preferred that Danielson goes against some other guys, and kind of would have left Takeshita alone and let him build his momentum.
I don't think that's a problem, Jeffy. I think this is awesome for him. Put in the spotlight that he can hang with Bryan Danielson. Like that, to me, that makes him a bigger star. To me, I already think he's a bigger star because of this match.
Yeah, I don't disagree. He's there, and it's just going to be the right match with the right competition to really put him over, because he's over like Rover right now. But I think to give him that statement win has to come sooner.
Not Rich, sorry. The people are in the ring with the rub. They're gonna get a spotlight, and this really showed it this week that this kid's getting a spotlight, and we're gonna see who he's going against now, because it's only gonna help them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's going against Bandito next.
Yeah,
they announced that it's gonna be good.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing.
I mean, it's gonna be bangers of a match until you get the Revolution. So we get Renee now. She's in with Juice Robinson, and Juice calls out Darby Allin for Friday for the TNT belt. Canada Dry, your thoughts on the Renee Paquette interview?
This guy has all charisma sipping water. I don't like Juice Robinson as a character. Boring, like even his name, Rock Hard Juice Robinson. Your name is Juice Robinson. You don't want to play up on that juice thing, like, geez.
Yeah, don't like exactly. Golden Grams, your thoughts?
I mean, it'll be a good match. I just wish they'd get Rampage off 10 o'clock on Fridays.
Yeah.
I look, I work all day. I'm an old man. I don't want to stay up late. I like going to sleep.
I don't want to be staying up till no midnight watching our Rampage. That's ridiculous. Trey J, your thoughts on the Renee Paquette interview?
It's been a long time on this show since I feel like that I've like fully just agreed with Canada Dry, but like I hate to say this and because of what I feel like it means.
Yeah.
But I honestly hate Juice Robinson. Like I hated him in Impact. I really can't stand him in New Japan. I definitely hate to see him like speak, period. Like I feel like Juice Robinson is one of those guys who's only entertaining when you don't understand what language he's speaking.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
Canada Dry's right. This guy has the charisma of water, which is weird when your name is Rock Hard. Like just as a grown man, I cannot call another man rock hard. Like I just can't. Like everything about this makes my skin crawl.
Yeah.
Like he is brought in to lose, and I hope he loses badly. Like, and then the fact that he's like married to Tony Storm is.
Wait a minute. Rock Hard is married to Tony Storm?
Think so.
Yeah. Or they're engaged or something. Another.
Wow.
Which is hilarious because she just like made like the top 10 in like the queer wrestlers list, and it's kind of like, cool, all right,
wow,
that works.
I don't feel bad for Tony Storm. What the hell did she see in Rock Hard Juice Robinson?
I mean,
maybe it's the nickname. I don't know.
He's rock hard. She's fake and bake. I don't really, I really don't see how this is like a double fail right now.
It's like we're living in some kind of weird alternate universe. Anyways,
we should do one day though, you guys. We should like do this show during Dynamite and like just like mute the commentary and let the four of us just commentate on the show.
I would be down with that.
That would be
I actually would be down with that. So let's go to our fourth. Speaking of Tony Storm, let's go to our fourth match. It's going to be Tony Storm and Saraya versus Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. Here comes my girl. I'm talking about Britt Baker, DMD, strutting her stuff. Out comes Hayter, looking good. Great opening to the match. Here comes Sheeta. Everyone looks really good. I was actually really surprised. Everybody looked on point. Britt had an awesome boot to Tony's Hayter with the awesome boot to Tony's face. Britt with the awesome avalanche. Sheeta slides the kendo stick, and then Britt uses it, and it's the worst acting I've seen since The Room, where she's like, and the worst look of surprise I've ever seen in my entire life. Thank God she's a wrestler, not an actress, because she would have been gone. She would have been fired. So,
Did you just insult The Room?
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, The Room itself, the movie is just, it's so bad, it's good.
Like, you can't insult The Room, though. It is so bad, it's good. Like, when you talk about how bad it is, it's almost like you're trying to be like, that is, you know what? I'm so disappointed in you as a person right now.
I have it on digital. I have it on Blu-ray. I love it because it's so bad. Like, okay, I'll take that back. It's not The Room, but it's another bomb. We'll go with like Ishtar or something.
Okay, I accept that one.
Okay,
I was about to say, you got the digital copy of The Room next to your Bobby Fish's Greatest Matches DVD?
I do. I'm the one editing it for him. Golden Grams.
Paying like $5. Man, put this together for me.
Golden Grams, what are your thoughts on the tag match? Our match number 4.
So first off, the smartest thing Tony Khan did was announcing Tony Storm as the partner last week.
Yeah.
Because if they would have stayed a surprise, I don't think this match would have gotten the reception that it deserved, because this was an awesome match.
Yeah.
And I kind of wanted at the end, when like you're talking about Sheeta and her poor acting with her surprise face, I sort of wanted to just her hand to drop and just be like an evil smile behind it.
Yeah.
Like that would have been better, rather than her shocked, like, oh no, what happened, when she threw it in the middle in no man's land. while the person she was trying to throw it to was knocked out in the ring. I mean,
Yeah. Exactly. Canada Dry, your thoughts on the fourth match of the night?
I thought it was a great job. I enjoyed Hayter. I enjoyed Storm. I enjoyed Saraya. I think
Yeah.
I I do acting job by she's trying to almost bad acting on purpose because she has to have this deniability that she did it by accident, and really we're
Yeah.
gonna find out later it was on purpose.
Yeah. Yeah. Trey J, your thoughts on the match?
So I actually enjoyed this match. I think that they really did such a great job with Hayter. I remember there's a spot where Saraya and Tony try to do the double suplex on Hayter, and then Hayter reverses and double suplexes them both. And it's just like, it makes you like, of all the things, all the questionable decisions we've seen on AEW, to watch how well they've done Jamie Hayter, who, for the most part is not, what a lot of people consider a homegrown, but for the most part, as far as the most exposure she's ever gotten is definitely AEW. It's like to watch that evolution of her go from like nobody to the real top of the mountain is so important for AEW's future. Thanks, Amy.
You have a
I'm
fan.
serious.
You have a fan.
If I had Graham's hair along with this face, it would just, it's like I would do the show by myself.
You'd be in another atmosphere, brother.
There you go.
You'd be circling around Saturn and Jupiter.
But I do think that, like, with this situation, and I think that this story is going to take
what?
This story is going to take such a bad turn because Sheeta shouldn't be the heel here. Like, Sheeta was done wrong.
Yeah.
From the get. And I think that, like, when they try to make it say, oh, you messed up, and they're going to be like, oh, that's and it's going to make it seem like she is going, with this heel thing. But it's like, no, Sheeta was done wrong by people that she thought were her friends. Yeah. And this is why this story is going to, like, they're going to try to keep Tony Storm and Saraya as the faces here. But I don't think they're connecting with the crowd the same way. Like, a heel Tony Storm, and let's be honest, a heel Paige. Like, I don't know if you guys remember this, but when I want to say Charlotte, it was like when Charlotte finally, I think it was like a feud between Charlotte and Paige from years ago. Like, the set of promos that Paige was cutting back then, and I mean, they were borderline like disturbing when she made fun of like Reed Flair and stuff like that. Yeah. Like, but just that heelishness, that kind of like just pure IDGAF was just, I mean, it was like the best version of her. And I think that we saw that instead of them forcibly keeping somebody a babyface who doesn't need to be one right now. Yeah. It would be so much better for the storyline, and I think it would do a lot better for the women's division as a whole.
Yeah, I'm going to pose a question to everybody. So my question is this: do we feel that Mercedes Moné did not sign quick enough, or she's still unsigned, and the reason why we didn't get her debut Canada Dry?
I don't know if she signed, but she could appear as like a one-off or something. Maybe a one-off payday. I don't know. Like at a pay-per-view. I don't know. I think it's still the door's still open. I think.
Yeah. Golden Graham, what are your thoughts?
I really think New Japan wants the first match outside of WWE, especially in a month and a half, to be for New Japan at Battle of the Valley, and I don't think AEW wants to be stepping on their biggest partner's toes. So it makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, Trey J, your thoughts really quick.
Just they don't need it right now. AEW's next pay-per-view is Revolution. Okay. Mm-hmm. Plenty of time. That's after, what is it, Battle of the Bay? That's
Yeah.
the Mercedes and Kyrie match.
Mhm.
So if you do that, like, get a number out of it, get some money out of it. Like, you got it. Like, remember, this is still a business. We like Sasha. We like, what they're doing. We think the women's division would definitely be helped, but you got to get a number out of it. You got to get something out of it. And without having her announced right now, wouldn't have been the same.
Yeah, totally agree. All right, so we go to our next little video package. It's Kingston and Ortiz. They're going to get divorced. Mom and dad are fighting. It's inevitable. There's a divorce that's going to be happening. Canton and Dry, your thoughts really quickly on the whole rigmarole with Kingston and Ortiz?
I thought this was a really weird promo.
Yeah.
I didn't understand it. It seemed really, really poorly produced too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like, okay.
Yeah,
I think
maybe
it's just,
AEW
hey, there's a
hired
match.
Bruce
Talk about
Pritchard.
it.
Yeah, AEW, I think, hired Bruce Pritchard because that was severely overproduced. And he's very well known for doing that in his later years. Golograms, your thought on Kingston and Ortiz?
I mean, I'm guessing this is something that's mostly been on like Dark or Dark Elevation, because I mean, other than the few segments they've had on like Rampage or maybe Dynamite, I don't know. Like, I really don't know what the story is. I guess it's this whole House of Black trying to sow discourse between them, but I don't know why. So
Yeah, it makes no sense. Trey J, your thoughts really quick.
Has anybody had a poorer career trajectory over the last 8-9 months than Eddie Kingston?
No.
I can't think of anybody whose just stock has just plummeted this much.
Yeah.
Like, Eddie Kingston was a legit main eventer. And maybe this segment was trying to salvage some of that, because it's like, we need to make sure we give folks a reason why HOB, Kings of Blackthorn, House of Black, why they're going to win this match. Yeah. And that way you kind of protect Kingston. Because, I mean, Ortiz he already lost Santana. So, and he doesn't do well on singles.
No.
At all.
Not at all.
No. He's like literally a pincushion.
Yeah.
He is literally like, people rest on him to pin him. Like, that's kind of his thing. So, but I really, it really just kind of makes me sad for Eddie Kingston, because he was definitely shot to the moon in the beginning.
Yeah. I think he's going to be a victim of the COVID era. I think he was willing to work through the COVID era. I think now that the crowd is in there and all this other stuff, I think the shine on Eddie Kingston is certainly dulled a lot more than it was when he was wrestling, when he was essentially a main eventer through the COVID era. I think he's going to end up being a casualty, and which sucks, because I think he's a great wrestler. I put him in my top 10. I put him in my top 20. I think he's an amazing wrestler. So let's go really quickly. The Jericho Appreciation Society. They're going to talk. We know it's eventually going to happen. We're not stupid, but they look like a touring Motown group. I love the jackets, but I was waiting for them to tear their pants off and do like a full Monty. That's what I wanted. I wanted to see some dancing and some coordination, but we didn't get that. So apparently, if you're curious, all our viewers out there, how do you get Matt Menard's nipples all nice and hard? Well, it's very simple. You just got to powerbomb Ricky Starks through a table. So that's the one thing that I think, out of all the things I've learned from tonight, Matt Menard gets aroused when Ricky Starks goes through a table. Really cool they shot out Bola. They did make an appearance at Bola. It was absolutely fantastic. I got to see clips of it. Again, it was so cool that they shouted him out. Here comes Starks. He comes out with Andretti. Starks specifically calls out Hager, in which Hager says, I love this hat, and then proceeded to do the worst botched promo I've ever seen, where I'm going to slap your face off your face. Canada Dry, your thoughts on the Jericho Appreciation Society butchering the English language?
Right. So what I would like to see to start this off was a Saturday Night Live skit, Dick in a Box. You know, they just got the whole thing with the box. Uh, amazing. But but uh, really, he did it twice, and I didn't like it. He Starks making fun of the lisp.
Yeah.
The low hanging fruit there, making fun of Jake Hager's list. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't like that. Jake Hager botched that little face off your face, but I think the Ricky Starks with list twice in
Yeah.
one segment was that's not what I didn't think it was cool. Made him
Yeah.
look like a heel.
Yeah, exactly. Golden Graham, your thoughts on the Jericho Appreciation Society?
I could have did without it.
Yeah.
Honestly, like it took away from main event time,
Yeah.
which I'll speak my piece on that. But also, why did actually Andretti come out?
Yeah.
Like I thought they were going to maybe set up like a tag team match next week. Like Andretti's just standing there looking like a sad like sidekick. I mean,
Yeah. Well, he's like Arthur to the Tick. He's Ricky Stark's Arthur. I mean, that's all there is to it. That's the only thing you can say. Trey J, your thoughts really quickly on the Jericho Appreciation Society.
So some of you guys may know that I'm like outside when I'm not just Trey J. I'm a high school teacher, and my high school students always give me the best phrases for situations like this.
Yeah.
And the phrase that fits in this situation is that Action Andretti is an NPC. He is literally a non-player character in this entire feud. Like, he has very generic lines. He's like, I'm going to stick that bat up here. Like, okay, shut the hell up. Like, okay, like that was Jericho's line.
Yeah.
Okay, like there's certain parts that like for him are very generic. And it's like the heat, the buzz that he did have, I feel like when he beat Jericho, well, that's gone now. Okay, now you got to start building this on your own. You got to start building yourself on your own. I think the only good line he had was when he made fun of Sammy Guevara and, you know, talking about, oh, you know, you need to make sure you know where your wife's hands are going. But even that was like low hanging fruit. This whole segment was low hanging fruit. Ricky Starks looked like a child.
Yeah.
Who was like pissed off that he didn't get what he wanted in this. And honestly, I'm beginning to feel like he does not have the it that everybody else thinks he does. He's a good-looking guy, won't deny that, snazzy dresser, but it's like it's really starting to be like 2002 Booker T instead of like Young Rock.
Yep, there you
It's
go.
like it's a poor imitation of a poor imitation.
Yeah, yeah, it's really sad because I think you're right. I think you hit the nail right on the head. He doesn't have that it factor, that panache, that thing that puts him above everybody else. I think he's just missing something, and it's something small, but it's important, you know, and that's.
And it's honestly starting not to come across natural anymore. When Ricky Starks was on the rise, he had like this natural coolness about him, this natural comfort about him. Now that the spotlight's on, and now that he's no longer the best kept secret, now that he's, you know, absolute Ricky Starks, it's like he's fumbling the freaking ball.
Yeah.
I want to say, like, I think he'd be better off as a bad guy, personally. I think he could carry himself better as a heel. Like when he was in NWA and he was the NWA television champion, like he was gold as a heel. Like I don't think he's ready to be a top level face.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with that. I totally agree. Let's get to the
I think he can be. He can be.
He can be, but it's going to take some time, I think.
I think he can be. Less is more with Ricky Starks. He shouldn't try to be Rocky Maivia. He should just be comfortable who he is and be who he is. That way, don't try to be this The Rock Jr.
Yeah. Because they did that to Carlito at one point in time. They tried to make Carlito's the only advice they would give him is, "Hey, be more like The Rock."
Yeah.
And I think that whenever you start telling somebody to do that, it is so detrimental to any wrestler. It's like if I was to tell a young wrestler, "Be more like Bret Hart," I feel like that ruins him. Not that Bret Hart's bad, but we've done Bret Hart. We have Bret Hart. There is a Bret Hart. That niche, that need is filled.
Yeah.
Right now, it's coming across corny.
Mm-hmm.
And when you start getting when you get to the point of being like a corny baby face, there's no redeemability left in your face run.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry to say this. You're Ricky Starks and you're making fun of Jake Hager's hat, which is the most over thing in the JAS other than Judas.
Yep.
So it's like, even that, it's not working. You're going for the wrong things. Yeah. It's like, it's just not great.
Yeah. Well, let's get to our main event of the evening. Match number 5 sees Death Triangle versus the Elite in a Ladders Escalera de Muerta match. Elite comes out, fans go bonkers. Hey, guess what? They go equally as bonkers for Death Triangle. They were on freaking fire. There's no niceties. It's a straight fighting with piss and vinegar. Shivani with the obvious that you have to have 3 guys able to climb the ladder. Yes, we thank you very much, Tony Schiavone, for alerting us. Huge table bump by Omega. Honestly, he's feeling a lot better because he flipped right into that table, and then Matt Butch popped through the table. We got ladder tug of war. Nasty tailbone bump by Nick. I mean, that hurt me. And I've broken my ass bone before, and it hurt. And I was like, damn, that just brought back some really bad memories of not being able to sit for longer than 5-10 minutes. So, Ken and Dry, you go first. What are your thoughts on the main event?
Wow. Had this had a couple more minutes, it would have been better, but I love the match. I love Kenny Omega in this match. Kenny Omega was the star of this match. He stole the show. Absolutely amazing. Those spots, all the spots off the ladder. Absolutely amazing. I can't say enough good things about this match. And went to the 7th game. And you know what? You know what this did? This made us love the Elite again.
Yeah. Yep. Because it was stale.
They just done like a quick win to had they just had a quick win the Death Triangle, it would have hurt them. But this was the perfect way to make us love the Elite again.
Yep.
Totally agree. Golden Rams, your thoughts on the main event of the evening?
I loved it. It was great. They should have took the 10 minutes from the JAS promo and given it to this match.
Yeah.
Because I think it could have used a few more minutes, but man, they just shot out of a cannon and just didn't stop. Like, I had a hard time keeping up with all the action. It was great. I loved it. And I'm really excited now to see what the original plan for these trios titles was.
Yeah. Yeah. One that was almost nearly cut short because Ace Steel got a taste for Kenny Omega.
Yep.
All right. Let's go Trey J Styles. Trey J, what are your thoughts on the big main event of the evening?
This is really how this had to have ended. There was no other way. A match that was this good, the match that was built up. What's it called? The Escalera de la Muerte. That's supposed to be like the TLC of AEW, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't disappoint. I mean, it gave us everything that we we love about the Elite, give us everything we love about Death Triangle. We didn't even see the dissension between Death Triangle, which I think was definitely a big thing. The downside to this entire match, and probably the downside to this entire episode, was just commentary was getting way ahead of themselves in this.
Yeah.
It was like commentary was basically like calling out spots before they happen, and I'm like, are we doing this? Like,
yeah.
You guys, that was the one thing. It's like at a certain point I just had to like mute it because without the commentary, it was just so much better to just watch what was going on here. And this is why going forward, no one, the Elite lost 3 straight.
Yeah.
Ask anybody if they care that the Death Triangle, that the Death Triangle lost 3 straight, because they don't.
Yeah.
Like, this was probably one of the most protected situations I've ever seen. And to be honest, like, overall, like, I loved it. Everything about it. It was just great it was great from start to finish. And honestly, I don't even think it just made us love the Elite. I think it reminded us why we loved AEW.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you leave with such an admiration because you can talk to people about how much you love professional wrestling to a non-fan. And, I've always said, hey, you show them the Ricky, the Steamboat Savage match and let them watch that. And that will give them an idea about what this business is all about. I can say, no, honestly, that match, the main event, was beautiful. It was orchestrated violence at its best, and it was absolutely freaking amazing. So we are at the end of the show, which means we will bestow upon you our favorite match or segment and how many stars, 1 through 5. What the hell was that? All right.
I was trying something new.
Wait.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Bobby Fish Joke Week brought to you by the Pyramid.
The Pyramid! Power of the Pyramid!
Unleash the power of the Pyramid. Amazon is bringing mine next week. I've got the tracking order, so I'm excited to get my hands on this thing.
It's gonna look sweet. I'm gonna get rid of my iPad.
I'm gonna do the
Sabre.
show from the Pyramid.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, Kanjai, can we get a clarification? Is it Sabre or Sabre? Because I've heard both.
I've heard it both ways.
It is Sabre.
Sabre. Okay.
It is Sabre. Yes. All right. So 1 out of 5 stars, or about 1 out of 5 bells, and then your favorite match or segment. Trey J Styles, you go first.
I'm gonna tell you, this was a 4 for me. This was a solid. Huh?
We got to do the joke of the week.
Oh,
we got to do the joke of the week. All right, let's do the joke of the week first, and then we'll do our.
No. Okay.
Joke of the week brought to you by Sabre with their brand new Pyramid 2.0. Unleash the power of the Pyramid. Trey J Styles, hit it.
As you guys know, it was recently reported that the PIF, the Saudi Arabian Public Investment Fund, was going to buy WWE.
Yeah.
The problem is, when they were looking over the books of WWE, as doing due diligence before a sale, we found out that Bobby Fish's contract apparently had a what was called a rider in it, or like a reversion clause where he could get back into the company if in the case of a sale. Well, immediately as soon as that happened, you notice how all of a sudden there was all these retractions. Nobody was they were like, oh no, Saudi Arabia is not doing it. WWE has not been sold, and so right now they're kind of negotiating with Bobby Fish to try to make sure that that they can fix this beforehand. They thought at some point that maybe Vince coming back would make it so that Bobby Fish, that they could fix that part, but whenever you think of Vince McMahon, he's an old guy and everything. And it reminds me of one of my favorite quotes from, 15th century mariner Bartholomew Diaz, which is Bobby Fish sucks. So the idea behind this concept with Bobby Fish today is that I was looking through some archives. You know how you sometimes you look at the WWE Network and you can find some like really good stuff, right? Some of the old matches, some Gorgeous George stuff, and so on and so forth, right? Well, you guys know how because of injury we never got to see Red Dragon versus the Young Bucks, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we did get a chance to see, if you go on WWE Network, you can see Bobby Fish and Abraham Lincoln versus the old Bucks.
Oh,
That was gold. That was absolute gold. All right, KJ. Match or segment of the night. And how many bells?
Match of the night for me was Page versus Moxley, mostly because I was just impressed because I honestly did not have great expectations for this, and those two really brought it. So I'm gonna give this show four bells because there weren't the normal like gripes that I would have with the show. There weren't too many talking segments. There weren't too many things. There weren't a lot of nonsensical things. And they did a really good job, I think, last week and the week before of preempting the any kind of like negative or bad press. So you can't say, oh, they promised us. No, they didn't. Because they even paid off. They even paid off the thing from a month ago where, remember Britt Baker gave Soraya 2 tickets for this show, right?
Yeah.
We even got to see who got the tickets.
Yeah.
It was Ken Jeong and Freddie Prinze, who both, of course, have appeared on WWE television before.
Yep. That's
So
true.
definitely comes full circle.
There you go.
Interesting.
All right. Golden Grams, your thoughts, what your favorite segment was or match, and how many bells?
so I'm giving this 5 bells. I said this on a post earlier, but AEW is at its best when there's a different kind of match and it's not repetitive. You had your opening match, which is just brutal, and then you had a tag match, then you had your women's match, you had a technical masterpiece with Takeshita and Danielson, and then you just had a bonkers car crash main event, which was great.
Yes.
So I'm giving it 5 stars, and I'm going to say my match of the night. I could say any match, but I'm going to go with the ladder match. Like, it was a perfect payoff.
Yeah, absolutely. Canada Dry. What Canada Dry? How many favorite match or segment, and how many belts?
4 stars. And like Graham said, you had 3 amazing matches on this card.
Yeah.
But I was going to go with Brian and Takeshita, but I'm going to go with the ladder match because it was the payoff, and I like the Elite again. So here we go.
Yeah. All
Never
right.
thought I'd hear Canada Dry say that.
Neither did I. I keep fearing hell is freezing over because Canada Dry just said something I think we never thought we'd ever hear from his mouth.
Changing
ever.
hearts, changing minds. All about it here.
Yeah.
Plus, Moxley lost on an episode of Dynamite. Like, how does it get any better than this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Absolutely. All right. So my favorite match or segment is the Takeshita versus Danielson. It was a technical marvel. It's the reason why I love shoot wrestling, and it's a lost art. And Danielson is on the back end, but Takeshita is on the front end. He's going to keep that tradition alive when Bryan Danielson finally retires. I can't wait for it. I'm going to give it, and I know this is going to shock everybody because I'm really persnickety on my bells, but 5 bells. With the exception of the clunky videos and promos and intros, the only match that didn't do it for me was Jungle Hook. And just because I don't think he was given enough time. Another thing we really got to see Jungle Boy's comeuppance against Big Bill. And I think that robbed us of that. It should have, that should have been a tighter match. But other than that, it was freaking gold. Tony Khan laid a huge golden goose egg when wrestling news is going mainstream. So unfreaking believable show. So five stars for me, and that is it. That is it. We are almost out of time, but I got time to tell you, if you're curious about reading up on our news, joining AFW, all this other cool stuff that you can do, you can go to effingwrestling.com. Scroll all the way down. All that line is nothing but social media links. You can get into AFW. You think you can predict what's going to happen. You can compete against all of us. So yeah, go to our website, effingwrestling.com. You can always go ahead and go to youtube.com/effingwrestling. Click like and subscribe, and you'll be able to go ahead and get in on everything that we do podcast-wise on Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Other than that, if you like T-shirts, and I know that some of you do, Hand to Dry, show them what T-shirt you're wearing today. Yeah, we have the All Effing Wrestling shirt. It's freaking awesome. You can get that at ProWrestlingTees.com/Effing Wrestling. You can get the same exact shirt that Natalia Markova, friend of the show, wears. If you are a fan of old school wrestling, we know that you are, and you like Adrian Adonis, all you need to do is go to his Pro Wrestling Tees store at ProWrestlingTees.com/Adrian Adonis, where you can get the adorable Adrian Adonis T-shirt, him flipping off the middle finger. So that is it. Those are the places to go. Give us some love, some likes, click and subscribe, join and watch us live. On behalf of Trey J. Styles and the Golden Grams and the Canada Dry, I am the JFB.
And remember to just play.
I think you got to do it.
This has been an effing worldwide media production. You can find us on all social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and others. Head over to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/effing wrestling. And while you're there, click like and subscribe. Want some swag? Head to our store at ProWrestlingTees.com/effing wrestling. You can find all these links and much more at our awesome website, effingwrestling.com. As the JFB always says, you can book it.
Ooh.